Good evening, everyone. We hope that
Hi
you had
guys.
we hope that you had a wonderful, productive weekend, and we welcome you to the third episode of Student Talks. Right, so we bring you a platform where you can gain new perspective about choosing your career destination abroad with all the perks that can be given to you.
Yeah, this web series aims to give you guys a boost about abroad, higher education and stuff like that, and the destination you can consider, because since we all know that results are coming in for O levels and stuff like that, so it's hard to comprehend about whether or not what's happening in the world, what's going to happen in the future, especially regarding COVID-19. But you guys don't have to worry anymore, because we are here to guide you regarding your higher education.
Yeah, so most of us A level students are expecting our results in the coming month, and we will be looking forward to choosing our first degree, which is like searching for the best suited university either here in Pakistan or abroad. And I personally even know people that are planning to go, or already planning to go abroad, but their plans are like stopped because of COVID-19, right? So I believe that this platform offers so much information that can be taken in regarding to higher education abroad and possibilities around the world, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Everybody who's studying in A levels right now, years from now, we want to look back and think that yes, we did make the right decision when we chose our career. And so that's why today,
Definitely.
without any doubt, know that this session is going to be something really informative for all those students who are looking forward to Canada and higher studies in Canada.
Yeah, so Canada is far more than recognized as just a place, just a country, but it's a popular destination actually for Pakistani students, and they're really keen on going there for their first degree.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I know a lot of my friends are going to be moving to Canada as soon as they receive their A levels result, because they have their eyes on
Yeah.
higher education in Canada. So
Yeah.
today we have our guest, Dr. Nauman Farooqi, with us, who is the Dean of Business and Social Sciences at Mount Allison University, and very much our own Pakistani, to tell us about the opportunities that coming students can avail in Canada, especially at his business school.
Hello, sir. How are you? We're hoping that you're in good health, and we welcome you to our show.
Assalamu alaikum, Tarfa and Ramsha. Pleasure to be here with you this morning. I'm speaking to you
I think
from
there are
Sackville.
some problems with the mic right now, so I guess we'll just give it a little bit of check. But until then, we'll tell you more about Canada. So it is a popular destination for students, right? And I think there's some sort of issue happening with Dr. Farooqi's mic right now. So, Dr. Farooqi, can you look into that? Your mic is a
All
little, we
right. Yeah,
can't
of
hear you
course.
properly.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right, excellent. I think every time I exit the Zoom, it just goes back to the default. So, Assalamu alaikum, Tarfa and Ramsha. Pleasure to be
Walaikum
here
assalam.
this morning
Walaikum
with both of
salam.
you. And I'm joining you from lovely Sackville, New Brunswick, where the temperature is 22 degrees, a beautiful spring day. I wish I could go outside
Wow,
and
that's
share the nice
amazing.
weather, but pleasure to
Yeah.
be here and talk to you.
Yes, of course, it's really exciting to meet you, sir. And we would like to know more about you from yourself, as in traveling your journey from Pakistan to being the Dean of the Business School at Mount Allison University.
Certainly, I describe myself, Ramsha and Tarfa, as an accidental academic. I had no intentions of becoming a professor. I started off my undergrad kind of a thing, pre-engineering, all set to become a chemical engineer. That changed into becoming a chartered accountant. That changed into doing an MBA.
Wow.
And then after I did my MBA from Quaid-e-Azam University in Islamabad, I was lucky enough to
That's
have
great.
to win the Quaid-e-Azam Merit Scholarship, which allowed me to go to the US to get a PhD degree. So I
Wow.
went to the
That's
US
great.
and did another master's and did a PhD and came back to Pakistan. My family had a small business, so I kind of got involved in that. Then I joined my old university, started teaching over there. Then I dabbled a bit in the financial markets, ran a money markets and a mutual fund company, worked for the American Embassy in Pakistan, and then joined the Privatization Commission for some time. Uh, and then moved to Middle East, taught at a university over there, and then in 2000 landed in
Wow.
Canada. So I've been here 21 years. So this is like a very fast forward kind of a history of how I got where I am.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Seems interesting and obviously filled with a lot of adventure as well. So, other than that, could you please tell us about the lifestyle of Canada, and especially for the students coming from Canada, New Brunswick, from outside of Canada, and especially Pakistan?
Certainly. So, my experience prior to coming to Canada was basically in the US. I lived there for a number of years when I was doing my PhD. And so, my experience was kind of, North American experience essentially was, American experience. I'd never been
That's
to
great.
Canada. I'd never visited Canada when I was here. I had never heard of New Brunswick. I had never heard of Sackville. So, when I basically came to Canada, I'd applied for jobs, and Mount Allison had offered me a 1 year position, and
Ooh.
so I landed in Toronto. I didn't. I wanted to stay in Toronto, like all that's where most of the Pakistanis are. So I
Yeah,
stay there.
definitely.
And
Yeah.
but when I got the job, I Googled where is New Brunswick, where is Mount Allison, and so on and so forth. And I'll tell you what, I think that the greatest thing about the difference between Canada and the US is that in Canada we celebrate multiculturalism.
Definitely.
So I can be a very proud Pakistani and I can still be a proud Canadian at the same time. They don't want you to
Yes,
lose
of
your
course.
identity. So I think so that
Definitely.
is something that I really like. In the American kind of melting pot, it's like more like assimilation. You kind of become one of them. But in Canada, we encourage and we support and we
That's
really
amazing.
cherish,
That's
the
great.
multiculturalism. So I think so that's one of the important things. So that's what made me really comfortable over here and made my family comfortable over here. In terms of the kind of physical location, if you will. Canada is a very big country, as you know, like literally,
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh, for me, it's faster to go to Boston in the United States or
Wow.
fly to London, England, than to fly to Vancouver, which is on the other side of Canada. So it's
Oh,
so
wow.
kind of
Yeah.
so it's so
That's a
kind of
big difference.
big country. But where Mount Allison is located is a beautiful part of Canada. These are called as the Atlantic provinces. We are close to the Atlantic Ocean, north of Maine, which is the U.S. state, and
Yeah.
beautiful place. Lots of nature. The population is very low. Canada's total population, I think, is about 35 million.
Hmm.
The province where I live, it's a population of less than a million. Mount Allison is a very small university town, a very community-based town in which you tend to know everyone else. Everybody treats you with respect. Everybody treats
Yeah.
you,
That's
with
great.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
great. Now, how would you encourage students living in Pakistan that to come to Canada to study, right? Because I'm aware that Mount Allison University is ranked number 1 in the best for the best undergraduate programs in Canada. So, how would you urge them to come there?
Yes, I think so. Mount Allison has a stellar reputation. I believe for the last 21 out of the 29 years, Mount Allison has been ranked as the number 1 small university in Canada. So that says
Yeah.
something about the quality of education that you get over here. Uh, like I said, Mount Allison is a small liberal arts, primarily undergrad university. And our claim to fame is that we only do one thing and we do that one thing really, really well. So some of the
Right.
other bigger universities, they have undergrad programs, they have master's programs, they have PhD
Yeah.
programs, they've got number of different things. So their focus is all over the place. Our focus is
Right.
to
Yeah.
really train the best and to get the best and to train the best, educate the best undergrads in the country and in the world. And I think
Amazing.
so that
Great.
that fact is attested by by our ranking, if you will. So in terms of the kind of education that you're going to get over here, it's a different kind of education compared to what you would get in a bigger university. I know, like
Right.
coming in from Pakistan, a lot of people are interested in going to a bigger city, like Toronto or Montreal or Vancouver. Nothing wrong with that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely. Uh, But if you really want to get an immersive, really top quality education, which will really help you discover yourself, find your
Right.
inner
Yeah.
potential, because that's what we do. We are really tuned to customize your educational experience. So you can do so many different things over here
Uh-huh.
that are not possible in a bigger
That's
school. In a bigger
amazing.
school, in a bigger school, you're just a number, your roll number. Over here, people know
That,
you,
yeah.
they understand you, and they encourage you to really push your boundaries and really evolve into the kind of person that you have the potential for. So if you are one of those people who seek that kind of education, and that kind of setting you up for the future, this is the place for you. If you're really interested in a kind of a standard education in a big city with all the hangama and all the hula dulu of everything, definitely not the place for you, because we are a very inward looking, really community based kind of a university. Like, when I walk to get my groceries at the superstore, on the way, I might meet a faculty member, I may meet somebody else. The students who are checking out are my students. They
Yeah.
may ask me a question.
That sounds great.
What about that assignment, right? So it's like you're a part of the community. It's the university is the town, and the town is the university.
Exactly.
So
That
it's a
sounds
very
great.
different kind of
Yeah.
an experience that you're going to get. And again, remember that despite the fact that Sackville is a small university town, we are only 30 minutes driving distance from Moncton, which is a bigger place, which has the airport and the malls and the shopping and the
Right.
restaurants, everything else. It's only a 30 minutes drive. And for people in Karachi and Lahore, a 30 minutes drive is nothing. Like, it's
Definitely. Definitely.
Exactly. That's true.
yeah.
That's very true.
Right.
Well,
So
that is amazing to.
yeah, so that's
That's
so
amazing to
amazing.
know, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, so
And
how do
obviously, the
you
culture seems to be
students,
amazing. It's very welcoming, and there's a good community that you have described that has formed in.
right? So the question is now, okay, how do students usually cope with the lifestyle when they're coming to Sackville and with their studies, right?
So you see, even if students are moving from one Pakistani city to another Pakistani city, उसमें भी problems होते हैं. There are issues of
Definitely.
adjustment, right? Anybody who's moving overseas, they are moving with a mindset that they're going to go to a place where they will not have their network, if you will, their network of their friends and their family. It's not going to be there. So I think so. It's important for people who are going overseas to really be cognizant of the fact that they will have to do a lot of things themselves.
Definitely.
When I first came to the US, like a typical Pakistani, kid, you know, I
Yeah.
Yeah.
didn't have, I didn't have to take care of anything. Like, my mom did everything. My dad was there. So I basically was lounging around and doing whatever I wanted to do. But over here, when I came, I had to, cook my food, clean my clothes, laundry my clothes, buy the grocery, everything
Become
I
Yeah.
independent. Yeah.
so the thing is that when you're coming over here, apart from the studies, you have to really be able to do all of these things. So just have your mindset that you will be allocating a lot of time to doing these things, and it's a
Yeah.
fun experience. You enjoy doing all of these things. So
Definitely.
that's number one. The
Exactly.
second thing I would encourage students to do is to really you know let yourself happen, right? Join clubs and societies, go out and meet people, push your boundaries, because this is a new beginning for you. It's an opportunity for you to write a new
Yeah.
chapter in your life. So I really encourage people, rather than, a lot of times what happens is people, students who go overseas, they go into a cocoon kind of a thing, or they start meeting people only from, let's say,
Yeah.
the subcontinent, and nothing wrong with that. But you see, the thing is, you are in Canada, you're here,
Yeah.
you're in the US or Australia or England or wherever you are, you're there to really learn and appreciate what's out there. So I think
Definitely.
that's
Yeah.
the other important
Absolutely.
thing, you should do. And lastly, I think so. Given the world that we live in right now, uh, one has to be really very good at using technology in education, right?
Yeah.
So, we all use
Yeah.
technology for fun and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think so how to best take notes using the computer, how to be able to, make a presentation using PowerPoint, how to be able to format, text in a Word
Definitely.
document, how to use online meeting platforms like Zoom, and all of those things. So I think so that's really an important part of the skill set
Yeah.
that students should have
Yeah.
just before they come.
Absolutely. That is amazing to hear. And obviously, we can see that Mount Allison offers a lot of opportunity for students. But we would also like to know about the student employability after graduating from Mount Allison. And yeah, could you like to tell us something about that?
Certainly. So Canada is a fantastic place because of the fact that we encourage people to come here and kind of make a home for themselves in Canada. So in terms of students who are coming here from Pakistan, they'll have the opportunity of working. While they're studying, about, I think so it's 40 hours every fortnight they can work officially during the semester. During the summertime they can actually have a full-time employment, and we have an office of experiential
Wow.
learning and career services that can provide you with more information and find opportunities and what have you. And once a student graduates, you automatically get a work permit to work in Canada to gain some experience. And what that allows you to do is that not only are you able to get employment, but you're also able to count that time towards your immigration status if you are willing to, if you want to pursue that particular route. Now,
Hmm.
Mount Allison has a very strong network of alumni, like, whose students who graduated from Mount Allison, and we have them spread all
Yeah.
over the world. Uh, we have uh, uh, we have a very rich network, and because of the strong connection that the university has, people really go out of their way. I'll give you an example. Like, I teach entrepreneurship
That's
and
amazing.
finance, and I was taking my students to Toronto. I take my investment class students to Toronto every year because that's where the
Hmm.
equivalent of the Wall Street is for Canada. And
Yeah.
so I didn't know anybody when I
Yeah.
first came here. And I got a list of Mount Allison graduates who were working in the financial investments industry in Toronto. And I just picked up the phone and called them. And I said, look here, I'm a professor at Mount Allison. I'd love to bring my students. And literally, these were people at the very top. Like, they were managing directors, they were chairmen, they were presidents of
Yeah.
companies, and they invited us over. They, took us out for lunch. They really connected with the students. So I was just totally blown
Wow,
away by
that's
the
great.
strength of these, and then they take these students under their wing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
a number of students actually who connected with these really high-powered business people were able to provide them mentorship and provide them with opportunities and guided their careers.
Yeah,
And so it's wonderful to see that roll out, as you go into the future. So we have a very strong network. We really pride ourselves
absolutely.
in the quality of our students and the education that they get at Mount Allison.
Right. So that's amazing. Mount Allison really sounds like a great university for students, right? But what about internships, right? Are on campus when they're living on campus in the city? Are there any internship opportunities for them? Can they do that while still being enrolled in the college?
So, like I said, they can work 40 hours every 15 days while they are taking a course. So they can find opportunities within the community. Also, there are jobs within the university. So the library might have some jobs, the cafeteria might have a job, some small
Right.
business or somebody else might have some other unit of the university might have a job. And during the summer months, which is almost like 3 months or so, they can actually go out and get a full-time job anywhere in Canada. And we have the career
Right.
Yeah,
services office and the office of experiential learning, which allows them to find those opportunities to be able to go and work and get some experience and make some money also.
Right.
well, that's great. So, moving forward, how would you like to advise the students who are awaiting their A level results to choose the best possible first degree, undergrad degree for them?
So I think so. It's really important for students to figure out what is it that they want to do in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
The foundation of any
Yeah,
any kind of anything is really important, right? So Mount Allison University provides a very strong, solid foundation to really launch your career. in terms of if you want to join the
Yeah.
workforce immediately after graduation and find a job, or if you want to go into a master's program, if you want to pursue a PhD program. So we offer a very strong foundation for that. The other important thing, which I guess is general advice across the board, is that one should find something that you're passionate about. Because if you find something that you're passionate about, you will never work a day in your life. Like I'm
That's
lucky,
right.
like I like I said, I'm an
Yeah.
accidental academic. I had no intentions of becoming a professor, but honestly, alhamdulillah, I feel blessed and lucky because I love what I do. And honestly, there's not a
It's
day that
great.
I wake up happy and I'm
That's
looking forward
lovely.
to
That's
work.
amazing.
So it's not work for me. It's I just love what I do, and they pay me money for doing this. So what else can you want out of that, right?
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
important advice is that you find out what is your passion. Number one. And the second thing is you look at where the world is going and what are the different things that are happening in the world where there is an intersection of your passion and opportunity in the future, right? And once you find
Right.
that intersection of those two
Yeah.
things, that's what you should focus on. And for everyone, that's going to be different, right? But what will happen
Oh,
is that if you have a
absolutely.
strong
Yeah.
foundation, and again, I go back to Mount Allison's liberal arts degree, that you really get a very strong grounding in all kinds of different things, right? And that really allows you
Yeah.
to an opportunity to learn different things. So, in business, for example, we really force our students to take a minor in a non-business area. We push them out. We say, no, 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 you are
Hmm.
not going to do a minor
Uh-huh.
in a business area. You have to go out and do something else. Students choose philosophy, they choose music, they choose geography,
Exactly.
they choose so many different things.
Yeah.
My
That's
own
why.
son, he's doing a degree in science at Mount Allison, and he's taken courses in philosophy, in English
Wow.
literature, in poetry.
That's
He's
great.
in science, right? He's in science, but he has the
That's
opportunity
amazing.
to really build a portfolio of general, knowledge and appreciation of the different disciplines, and that's what really makes you a valuable person out there in the job market. Because if you talk about from the point of view of even business,
Yes.
uh, the companies out there, the corporations who were hiring business graduates, one of the pet issues that they had was that the people who were coming from business only knew about business, right? They didn't know anything about anything else, and they were making decisions solely on the
Yeah.
basis of business. And now they want those people to come in. They want people who have a liberal arts background. They understand so many different things. If I make a business decision, what will be the impact on society? What will be the impact on the environment? What will be the
Yeah.
impact on society at large? So I think so. Those are the strong things that really we are really good at, and we pride ourselves in providing that quality education.
Definitely, diversity in education is
Amazing.
so
That's
important to
great.
open different corners of your brain and be exposed to new things aside from what you're learning. So that's amazing, right? So in the entire COVID-19
Absolutely.
situation, there's a lot of students that were looking forward to coming to Canada, right? But it's obviously put to a halt because of the entire situation. So what would you say Canada is doing in terms of opening borders?
So I think so. Canada has been blessed because number one, we have a very small population. We have a very law-abiding population. So when the rule is
Yeah,
that you're not supposed to do this, people obey the rule, and they
Yeah.
are not going to do that. So
great.
we've been lucky, and we've been especially lucky in New Brunswick. I think so. The government over here acted very, very fast. They closed all the borders, so even today, I cannot travel anywhere in Canada. I cannot.
Hmm.
Like I just basically they have closed all the borders
Yeah.
to contain it. We have had a total of in the entire
Yeah.
province a total of 150 cases, and I think so maybe I
Wow. That's
think,
great.
10 or 15 fatalities. So based on how we managed the situation over here, on July the 3rd, we are actually opening the borders to four provinces that are really connected to us, because all of those
Right.
provinces have also been very careful in
Yeah.
how, so we can travel back and forth, students can come, we can go there, we can go for vacations and what have you. And I think so. It all depends on how things pan out with the COVID-19. But the government and the universities are very much aware of the challenges in terms of international students, and
Definitely.
every effort will be made in order to ensure the safety and the wellness of the students and their welfare, as well as the communities in which they're going to join us. So we are working very closely with the provincial government, health ministry of the government, and we have instituted, protocols and operations and procedures to ensure the safety of our students. So we have opened up our campus for research laboratories. So students
That's
who are
great.
working in research areas, they are back. About 2 weeks ago, they
Okay.
are back. We have protocols in place, how they're going to enter the building, how they're going to exit the building. Even in the buildings, you have got pathways. There's a one
Amazing.
way to go into a classroom, another way to come out of the classroom.
Yeah.
Sanitization stations all over, masks are provided. So we are doing all of those things in order to ensure that
Amazing.
students
That's
are
great.
really kind of because
Amazing.
it's a trust factor. Students are coming in, they are trusting us, their parents are trusting us. So we have
Yeah.
to be very careful and really make every effort in
Yes.
order to ensure a very safe environment for them.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. Okay, so what would you like to say about Mount Allison in terms of the advantages that a student can get by coming to Mount Allison for studying business-related programs as compared to, I mean, any other university in Canada or something?
So I think so. The most important thing is that the focus on the liberal arts, which is really an important kind of a thing.
Yeah,
So I'm the dean of business and social sciences, which is really unusual for a business program to have a dean of business and social sciences, and that actually
yeah,
communicates to the
absolutely.
world that we value the liberal arts. We value the liberal arts and the role that business plays within that context, right? So our program is really, big on one-on-one interaction, small class sizes, experiential hands-on learning. We have a very strong network of alumni, so we invite them as guest speakers. We go for field trips, take the students to various companies and organizations. We have
Amazing.
a number of activities in which students participate in clubs and societies and competitions all across Canada. Our students are really kind of keen on building, opportunities for themselves by launching businesses, by launching different initiatives. So we have, I think it's about 2.5 years ago, we launched a new program. It's called the Reason Internship, in which students who are interested in setting up who have an idea about a business venture. So we bring them in
Absolutely.
over the summer. They actually get money to develop their business program.
That sounds
Uh,
great.
they, they kind of develop the business program, and the next summer we give them money to actually launch the business. So they actually set up the business and run the business. So again, there are
Wow.
many opportunities like that that we really that allows the students. And like I said, we force our students to take a minor in a non-business degree, and that really allows them to develop different kind of skill sets. So I'll give you an example. I had a very good student who did a minor in music, and if you think about it, business and music, and they're
Wow.
different. But
Very different.
when you think
Yeah.
about the business of music, it's billions of dollars worth of business of music.
Yeah.
All
Definitely.
the all the streaming videos and songwriting.
Absolutely.
So he's really doing very well now because he has an understanding of music, and he also has
Wow.
an understanding of business, right? So that's a unique kind of a combination,
Yeah.
that allows them to do that. And one more quick example, like we I was having a conversation a couple of years ago with a history professor, and the more we talked about it, the more we started thinking about, there's a rich history of business, and so he put up a special course on the history of
Yeah.
business. So he is a history professor teaching a course to business students about the
Wow.
history of business. So it was just a fantastic kind of, so those are the
Wow.
kinds of
That's
innovative
great.
things that we do. Yeah, yeah. So, and I think so that
That sounds
really adds
great.
a lot of value to the students' understanding of business.
That sounds amazing. That definitely is
Of
something
course,
that
yeah, it sounds very
is
creative.
great that can be gained from Mount Allison University. Right. So we hope that you get to
Yeah.
meet the January 2021 intake that will come to you from Pakistan, right? So what would you like to say? What advice would you like to give to these students who are new to coming to Mount Allison and intending to come in January?
So first thing, I hope inshallah, everything pans out well and that we are able to receive the students.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, Pakistani students have had a very
Yeah.
good record at Mount Allison. When I first came in 2000, the
That's
best student
great.
award, the best student award for 2 years running, the best international student award for 2 years running was given to a Pakistani student. Mustansar Nadeem, I still remember his name.
Wow,
I
that's
mean, I'm
great.
in touch with him. And then another student, his name was Ali.
Amazing.
Uh, he worked for the computing center for all the 4 summers that he was at Mount Allison. And till today, whenever I go and talk to the director of the computing services, he always says, "You're from Pakistan. I remember Ali. He was the best student we ever had." So again, so Pakistan have a very
That's
high
great.
appreciation over there. So in terms of going back to your question about the advice, number one, find your passion. Okay, find your passion and find what is it that you're really interested in,
Yeah.
and then try to find, what is it that you want to do in the future, and try to kind of find an intersection of those two things. Number two,
Hmm.
Mount Allison is a great choice where you can discover yourself, where you can really kind of, live and breathe in a
Yeah.
community that supports you. uh, it's a very different experience than going to like a big school like University of Toronto or McGill. And again, those are great schools, and I'm not saying anything bad about them, but that's a
Yeah.
different experience. So if you go to one of those big schools, I know like some of my
Yeah.
friends, children, went there. The first year class, they had 700 students, like in a huge lecture hall kind of a thing, right?
Wow.
Uh,
That's wow.
so
That's a big
Wow.
number.
so compared to that,
Yeah.
Mount Allison, I think so the biggest class we might have might be 120 students. And then as you develop, as you go in the second, the third, the fourth year, like in my case, I teach the fourth year investments course and the fourth year entrepreneurship course. I have 15 students, 20 students in the classroom. I know
That's great.
everyone by name, right? So I think so that's
Wow.
the other
That's
important thing,
great.
that you, if you want a different kind of an experience, if you want to really discover who you are and what you are capable of becoming, Mount Allison is a great university. It's a great school. But if you're looking for living in a big city and really enjoying the lights and bright lights and city life kind of a thing, this is definitely not the school for you. Um, if you live in Toronto, for example, if you're commuting from where you live and go and university, you might spend like half an hour, 45 minutes if you're not living on campus. At Mount Allison, you can walk from anywhere in town to your class in
Wow.
15 minutes. Walk, right?
That is so
So
great.
Oh,
yeah,
wow. That's
yeah. So
amazing.
that's and the last thing I want to talk about is that get ready. Like I said earlier on, just prepare yourself. Both mentally in terms of the challenges that you're going to face, because you're not only going to be
Hmm.
studying, you're going to be living in a new place. You'll be cooking, eating, doing all your chores yourself. So just be ready for that, and also try to kind of develop your digital skills in terms of
Hmm.
business. You should know Excel, you should know how to make a presentation of PowerPoint, you need to know how to use all of these online learning
Definitely,
platforms.
definitely.
So I think those are important skill sets that if you bring them over here, you will really be able to fast track in terms of getting settled and being very successful over here.
That is definitely true. Those skill sets are definitely needed for any program that you're going to do. So, yeah, it was lovely having you with us. And we hope that our viewers are much more confident about Mount Allison University when they're thinking about coming to Canada for pursuing their higher education for their very first degree. So, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much, Ramsha and Tarfa. It was a pleasure meeting both of you, and I hope that I see both of you at Mount Allison. If you have any questions or anything, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. And I know Ahmed in his company are really kind of connected to Mount Allison, and they'd be more than happy to answer any questions. And they can connect with us at Mount Allison to get any clarification. So I hope all of you stay safe. And inshallah, look forward to maybe meeting some of you in person, either here in Canada or in Pakistan. Inshallah. Take care. Thank you. Khuda Hafiz.
Inshallah. Goodbye. All right.
Bye.
So, yeah, I hope that this information that was given to everyone on this platform today was helpful, and that all the students that were looking forward to going to Canada will pursue going to Canada, and especially consider Mount Allison University, right? So if anyone has any questions, please leave them down in the comments below, and make sure to watch our next episodes and open our links on YouTube, and please share and subscribe. It was amazing talking to all of you right now. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz.